Alright, Outlaw Radio Live fans, 97.7 Outlaw Radio FM. Right here, right now, we got Detroit, Michigan's own. We got Swifty Mcvay of the Dirty Dozen, also known as D-12, on the line. How you doing this evening?
What up, Joe? Everything is good, my brother. Everything is good. Thanks for having me, man.
Hey, man, you are most certainly welcome, man. I've been a fan of D-12 for many years. I think any individual that grew up within the early 90s or late 90s, early 2000s can really say they really grew up on D-12, man. So thank you so much for just being a major part of hip hop.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for your support, man. I really appreciate everybody's support, man. Much love.
I gotta ask you, Swifty, like, what made you decide to get into the music industry from the beginning?
Man, I've been rapping ever since I was a youngster, man. I had to be like 5, 6, 7 years old. I mean, this is all I knew. I knew nothing else but music. Ever since I listened to, Run DMC. I seen Run DMC first video at my grandmother's house at a very young age. And once I saw that, this is all I wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? As a youngster, man, I've been trying to pursue this, man, writing rhymes, battling on the playground, all through junior high school. It's just, ongoing things as far as I can remember.
And as to Run DMC, I think, they really did inspire a lot of individuals to actually get into hip hop.
Yeah, absolutely, man. They swag. I mean, I'm still intrigued by the first time I heard Ron say, Calvin Klein, no friend of mine, don't want nobody's name on my behind. And me being young, when I heard him say that, me knowing what Calvin Klein jeans was, that sparked something as far as metaphors and wordplay. It sparked something in me in a young age, man, because I knew what it meant, and it just, birthed something inside of me, went on from there.
And also, before your D-12 days, you were a member of a rap duo called the Rabbies. I have to ask you, can you tell us a bit more about that duo, and how did you guys get together? Like, what's the story behind that?
Yeah, man, the name of that group was called the Ravens. We was called the Ravens, man.
My apologies.
Me, the Ravens is all good. Me and Beretta, a.k.a. Mr. Wrong, man. You know what I'm saying? We started rapping together like in 1987, man. We was actually called the Outcast Crew when we first started. And the only reason why we changed our name to the Ravens is because, Big Boy and Andre 3000 came out as the Outcast and they shook the world. So we had to change our name. And, we tried to pursue record deals, man, 1993, 1994, going to open mics with everybody. And we finally got a single deal with BMG, Robbins Entertainment. A lot of people don't know that Robbins Entertainment is Corey Robbins, the same dude who signed Run DMC. Yeah,
that's major.
Run DMC had signed us to a single deal, and we ended up putting out a single in 1997, man, that was kind of, nationwide radio play, but they didn't want to put out no full album on us, man. So after we did that, me and the Ravens kind of disbanded. Mr. Wrong wanted to do his own thing, and that's when I became a solo artist. Yep.
And also, you were the last member to join the Dirty Dozen, D-12. I have to ask you, what's the story behind D-12? Like, how did you guys get together?
Yeah, man. Here's the thing. I've been knowing all the members of D-12 even through the Raven days when I was rapping with my rap partner, Mr. Wrong. Everybody was solo artists doing their own thing. I had met everybody at the hip hop shop in 1993, 1994, and then, we would see each other every week. Poof's grandmother stayed 5 blocks from me, and his real mother stayed a few blocks away from Kanab and Con Artist. So, we was on the west side of Detroit, and Con Artist and Kanab was on the east side of Detroit. And I just kind of had this camaraderie going on. Me and Bugs was super, super cool. We would invite each other to the studios. We would invite each other to each other's shows. I had a deal. Poof had a deal with Maurice Malone. Con Artist and Kanab had a deal until one day, out the clear blue sky, Poof said, yo, I'm creating this group, that's sort of like the Wu-Tang, man, where all the all-stars of the hip-hop stopped and formed together in one group called D-12. He asked me, he was like, yo, if you want to be in it, man, you can be in it. And although I had my own group, I didn't enter to the D-12 group just yet, but I was still affiliated with everybody. I still was seeing them. I still was, just real cool, had this brotherly love. So when Bugs knew that I went solo, he told the group, he said, yo, man, I mean, we already been knowing Swift. We already got this cool rapport with him, man. I think it'd be dope if he be in D-12. So I ended up being in D-12, and a lot of people may think that that was my first time meeting everybody, but I've been knowing D-12 years before I even got into the group. Yeah, so it was already chemistry, it was already friendship, it was already a love and respect already there before I even was an official member. And then a lot of people think that I replaced Bugs, and I didn't replace Bugs. Bugs thought it was a good idea that I entered to the group, so Bugs ended up passing shortly after I entered the group. So if he was still alive at that time, he would have signed that record. He would have signed that deal with us. So I wasn't no replacement. He would have actually been in the group with us.
And I first and foremost have to say, Bugs was such a phenomenal individual, very very talented hip hop MC, and I do want to say, man, my absolute condolences to Bugs, man. I really do want to say that because I really do think that if he wouldn't have passed away, I really do think that, man, he would have blew up.
Yeah, man. Yeah, he was really really dope with the wordplay. He had charisma. He had the personality. And he was just that official, authentic Dirty Dozen style member. Like, if you all appreciate what Dirty Dozen brought to the table, charisma-wise, lyrically, he was that. He was that in the pink, and everything else with it, man. So he definitely would have made his mark. He actually did a couple of solo albums before he passed, man, and he just would have been a force to reckon with, man, for real.
And before we move off the topic of Bugs, if you don't mind me asking, you can skip this question. It's okay. There's not a lot of stories out there about Bugs and whatnot, about who he was as a person. Would you be able to tell us a little bit more about Bugs from, like, obviously behind the microphone?
Yeah. Bugs, man, was the person with a lot of charisma. He was a very funny dude. He was a dude who wasn't afraid to speak his mind. He was somebody who had tons of energy, man. Always showed up to places. And his energy and his loyalty, he was a very loyal dude with high energy, and he was just a down brother, man. If he loved you to the end, and he'll go way out for you, man. He was the one who, encouraged people to do this and encouraged people to do that, and to be courageous about what they want to do in their life, and this, that, and the third. He was just a down, loyal friend, man, who you knew when Bugs was with you, you knew everything was going to be all right because you knew he had your back 100%. And that's the kind of brother he was, man. Extra funny. Every time he opened up his mouth, it was so super funny. Him and Proof in the room together, man. All of us in the room together, man. He just lit up the room with his humor and his obnoxious. He was very obnoxious. You know what I'm saying? It's just a real funny, cool, loyal cat.
And most definitely, rest in peace, Bugs, man. He sounded like a phenomenal individual.
Yes, sir, man. Bugs, man. Man, like I say, I always give him props, man, because if it wasn't for him to spark that idea, I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you, man. So rest in peace to Bugs, and and shout out to all of his family too.
And when you brought that last part up, I actually have this question like later on in the interview, but since we're on that topic, one of my favorite songs that you guys did was "The Good Die Young." I am pretty sure everyone already knows the story behind that song, but I do want to say, can you tell us a little bit more about that song? Because that song truthfully helped me through a lot of difficult times.
Which song is that?
The Good Die Young.
Okay, yeah, man. Okay, The Good Die Young, man. A lot of people don't know The Good Die Young was produced by Mr. Porter. Mr. Porter produced that track, and we just went in there, man, and we come from a place to where we got a lot of fallen soldiers, man. Coming up in Detroit, man, we all have our different stories of, knowing about our fallen soldiers, man, who we grew up with, man, who made impacts in our lives. And we just decided to go in there and, and write about our experiences about our fallen soldiers, man. And in my verse was a true story. Everything I said in that verse was a real true story. Everybody that I named, those are real names, real incidents of how they died, and all these things happened in that story in my verse when I was young, man, and it was just a chance for me to go ahead and put that truth out there. It was just a perfect platform for me to explain that truth over the years of me growing up, man. So everybody had their stories and just wanted to, go in separately and tell their truths,
And the one thing I do want to say before we move off the Good Die Young topic, that song really did save my life many, many years ago. Back in 2015, my best friend, that was like my brother, got murdered, and that song really helped me get through I'm still grieving, obviously, but I really, whenever I feel down, that's a go-to song for me. So thank you so much for just putting that song out for other individuals in the world to help them through their difficult times as well. So thank you, Swifty.
Man, no problem. And I give you my condolences, man. My condolences goes out to you, man, for sure.
But D12's debut album called Devil's Night actually reached number one on the U.S. Canadian Billboard chart. So I have to ask you, how does it feel knowing that your guys' very first album was number one in U.S. and Canada?
Man, it just was a very, very, very surreal, man. To this day, even after all these years, man, I still look up and thank the man upstairs for it, man. It was just a dream come true, man. I mean, everything felt right. You know, the energy that we put into that album, the energy that we had together that led up to us even getting signed, you know, it just felt right, man. It was a great, great, great feeling. And I was very, very appreciative, man. And we was just at a point in our lives right there where we just, you know, it felt surreal to everybody. It even still feels surreal that wanting to rap and be rappers as long as we have been wanting to rap, that we can actually say we have that. We achieved that, man. So every day we wake up, well, I wake up, you know, with a lot of gratitude in my heart, man. And I always thank God for those above that achievement, for sure.
And I do also have to mention this, man, because not a lot of hip hop groups, even in hip hop history, really have the opportunity to say like, "Yo, like our first album, like hit number one, man." That's actually just extraordinary. So I gotta say, man, I know it's many years past, but congratulations on that, man. That's actually a phenomenal achievement within hip hop.
Yeah, thank you so much, man. I really appreciate that. Definitely a great blessing.
And when I was looking into more questions for this interview, I noticed that also in September 2001, during a tour in the United Kingdom, you guys were actually temporarily stranded due to the September 11th terrorist attacks, where you guys met up with Damon and the Gorillas to record the single 9/11. I have to ask you, during that time, what was on your mind being out in North America, and also what was it like actually recording that single?
Man, it was a very crazy time, and I remember sleeping. We had just pulled up in Rome. I remember how it happened like yesterday. I was sleeping in the back of the tour bus. One of our managers woke us up and told us about everything. And they actually, you know, we went to the hotel rooms, checked in. We all was all in one room together, man, watching the footage. And we had to go to the radio station, and they had a TV on with the whole thing going on TV. And we was just so silent and shook up during the radio interview, man. They wanted us to freestyle. We couldn't even freestyle, man, because of that impact hit us so much, man. And we actually got stuck over there. We wasn't even able to come back to the crib, so that's what inspired the energy for us to do that song with Gorilla, man. If that wasn't went on, we probably would have did something totally different. So we was like, yo, man, we got to do something to reflect on what's going on. And we actually got stuck over there so long to where when we tried to get back, two firefighters told us to land or they would go shoot our plane down. And there was a lot that happened with that. They forced us to land our plane inside of some army base. We had to get quarantined. Yeah, man, it was just a real crazy thing, man. It was like 300 people in one building with 7 phones. And, you know, once we got back to America, man, we actually kissed the ground, man. What?
Man, that's crazy. Like being told like land or you're gonna shoot your plane, like that's
Yeah,
crazy,
yeah, two
man.
firefighters was flying on the side of our plane, and we was asleep. I was sitting next to Canava, and all I seen was, you know, stewardess and flight attendants was nervous, running up and down the aisle, grabbing their stuff, crying. And when the pilot told us, he was like, "Yo, we have to do an emergency landing." They said that if we do not land, they will shoot our plane down. So we have to be forced to land. So close to 300 people, man, got out of our plane, got into these little army bases at a place called Goose Bay. Goose Bay, Canada was a little army base, man. It was 24-hour civilization, northwest, east, and south. It took 24 hours to get to city civilization in each direction because it was like an Area 51 type of base. And we had to stay there overnight, man, to get quarantined. They let us back on the plane. We got there to New York maybe like that next day or two. And we were just super happy, man. But, it was a very unfortunate time. It was a crazy-ass feeling, man, and we didn't know what to expect. We didn't even think we was even going to be able to make it home as fast as we did. But that 9/11, man, is a very, very unforgettable time. Not only with the tragedy, but what went on with us overseas, what happened to be trapped over there at that time. It was just
I wouldn't doubt it, especially during those times. Like the world never experienced such a travesty like that. So I think the whole world was like, what do we do? I think they were just stumped on everything. So I do want to say I'm glad that the plane didn't get shot down, and I'm glad that you actually had the opportunity to make it back home.
Yeah, thank you, man. I mean, the energy over there was crazy, but it wasn't I can imagine it wasn't nowhere near the energy that the people experience in the United States with us being in Europe. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man. But I appreciate that, man. We here to tell it and talk about it. So,
And when you were in that quarantine, if you don't mind me asking, with like the 300 people and whatnot in the one room, did anyone actually recognize who you guys were? Did they go, oh my God, that's D12?
yeah, it was a few people that recognized us, man. I'm gonna tell you something. We had actually, we actually called the record label to bring a private jet to come and get us, man. We was like, man, you know what, man? We about to call this record label to get a private jet to come and get us. So when the plane actually came to get us, man, so all this news footage, it was on news footage saying that it wasn't no air travel, wasn't nobody traveling in the air, but we were the ones that actually witnessed our plane actually coming to get us. And then the flight attendant told 300 people that we wanted to get our bags out of the plane, and we was holding everybody up. So everybody got mad at us, man, because they thought that we were the ones holding everybody up. So our plane had to leave. They wouldn't even let us get on the plane and leave. We spent all that money on the private jet to get us, but they didn't even let us on the plane. We could have left earlier before everybody, man. So that was a lot of stress right there. So we was forced to have to quarantine with everybody, even though we had a way home. Crazy time.
And also, D12's second studio album is called D12 World, which was released April 27th of 2004. I have to ask you, what's the inspiration and story behind that amazing record?
Man, D12 World, man, just came about like, we just wanted to. I don't think the world at that time pretty much knew what our chemistry was about, man. Us being together was a whole nother monster. So we just said, you know what, man, to get these people around the world to really understand how we are as a team and how our chemistry is just unlike any other rap group, man. All we, the way we rap, what we talk about, and the energy behind it, we just say, yo, let's just call it D12 World. At least we'll bring people into our world because our style, even though we're hardcore MCs, our style is just totally different than any other rap group, man. So we just wanted to bring people into our world, and I think that kind of put us in an island of our own. And in the album cover, I had created the album cover and thought it would be a good idea for a hand holding the world, you know what I'm saying? And the record label, loved the idea, and I'm proud that they wanted to go ahead and use that idea. So yeah, we just thought it would be a good idea to bring people into our world, and a lot of people don't know that Kanye West actually produced the title track to that, man, before he even, got signed to Rockefeller Records, man. He was doing his thing and got huge. We knew Kanye West was a dope producer out the gate, so we brought him in right before he blew up, and I can remember him being in the studio letting us see the Wire video before it even came out, man. So big shout out to Kanye West for producing that title track for the album for us, man. And we got a lot of people from around the world to bring them into our world.
And with D12 World, was that actually your hand in the picture, or was that just somebody? Was that like a hand model or something?
No, that wasn't my hand, but that was my actual idea. I can remember us having a conference call, and I came up with the idea for the cover. Yep, and Paul Rosenberg, CEO of Shady Records, liked the idea, and everybody else agreed. And so we had somebody illustrate it. I don't know who actually. I can't remember who actually illustrated that picture, man. But yeah, it definitely came to life and described exactly what the vision was. So I'm really, really proud of that cover.
And also, D12 was also in the movie called Longest Yard with Adam Sandler and Chris Rock. You guys were actually credited as the basketball convicts. I have to ask you, how did you guys land that role, and what was it like actually being on set of The Longest Yard?
Well, you know what? I think Bizarre was originally supposed to be Cheeseburger. I think his name was Cheeseburger Eddie, played by not I was about to say Tom Cruise, Terry Crews. Terry Crews was Cheeseburger Eddie in that movie, and I was supposed to get played by Bizarre, but Terry Crews ended up getting that role. And so, I guess Adam Sandler said, you know what, man? Well, Terry Crews, you know, got this role of Cheeseburger Eddie, man, I might as well go ahead and get you and everybody in it, man, because I think Adam Sandler just wanted everybody to have a part in there, man, considering that Cheeseburger Eddie role was took from Bizarre. And he just wanted all of us to shine in there, man. So we all went to Mexico in this abandoned prison, man, and met Nelly and, you know, met everybody, man, and had a real good time. It kind of taught me a lot about acting and improv and how they really get down, man, because I was doing a little acting myself prior to that movie and had a chance to experience what it was really like to improv, and it kind of helped my skills out in a sense as well.
See, when I was younger, I actually loved that movie, and it was funny. When I first watched it, first watched it in theaters when I was younger, I said to myself, I'm like, that's bizarre of D-12. Like, I know that's bizarre, you know. And then when I actually saw the credits and I saw all you guys, I was like, that's what's up. I have to say, you guys have one of the most funniest scenes, you know. So man, that's actually another thing that D-12 is going to be solidified, not only within hip hop history, but also in the movie industry as well.
So, thank you much, and I appreciate that.
And the one last question I have about D-12 is, this is the one that I've always wanted to know. I'm pretty sure it was just the way you guys did the song, but with the song My Band, you know how you guys are back and forth, kind of like fighting with Eminem and whatnot. He's stealing the spotlight. The one thing I've always wanted to know, was that just kind of like a song that you guys made as like a type of joke thing, or is that really how you guys felt back in those days?
You know what, man? We were a group that always believed in, you know, laughing to take away frustration. Man, we laughed and joked every day. I mean, it wasn't not one dull moment with us together, whether it was studio, whether we eating, traveling. It was always fun and laughing, man. And there was a lot of truth. There was a lot of truth to that video and to that concept, man. And all we did was laugh about it and do our thing. So we was just in the studio one day and I was just like, you know what, man? We should actually come up with a song that reflects on all the stuff that we've been laughing about these last, you know, few months, man, about him. And we used to kind of clown on people, man, because, you know, him is like the Jordan. He was the Jordan of the group. He got on first. He did what he did, and everybody, you know, just wanted to navigate towards him. And we used to be like, yo, we're here, hey. So we wasn't actually mad about the situation because we knew and was confident about what we had to bring to the table. We laughed and joked, and we didn't even think it was going to be a single, man. It was just something that we thought about doing. And when we did it, you know, the labels just thought it would be a good idea to reflect realness. And it taught me, man, when you're real and authentic and you're very genuine about where you are in life with yourself, man, that's when things flourish. So we came from a real genuine place, but it was also in humor. And it ended up doing what it did.
And I really do have to say, like, with that song, just the way you guys did it, like, the formula of how you guys, like, just went together, like, the collaboration, the way you guys came together in the song, like, it felt almost like you guys were really arguing during it. I really do think the charisma that you guys have together is just absolutely extraordinary. Because I don't think any other rap groups I've heard in my day was able to actually put together songs like that with different feels. It felt more like, instead of a hip-hop song, it was more of like you guys were actually like arguing and swearing at people and whatnot. I really did enjoy that, man. I think, you know what I mean, that's what hip hop needed during those times.
Thank you, man. Yeah, it was a lot of hardcore rapping going on, man. And I think, one good thing that we did, we brought humor and showed the audience that although you're a hardcore MC and you rapping in one way, it's okay to laugh and joke and bring humor to the thing. You don't have to sit back and find your face and be hard all the time. And I'm knocking the ones who do it, but that's just who we was. We were just laughing, joking, goofy guys who loved the hardcore rap. You know what I'm saying? And we just explained our truth. And then, when you explain your truth and bring your truth to the forefront, things like that happen, man. So I'm just glad everybody, appreciated it. We wasn't afraid to speak our truth. And thank you for the props, man. I appreciate that.
Hey, man, you're most certainly welcome. I think I can say this for a lot of our listeners right now, that D-12, you guys really did actually form our childhood, man. I can't remember how many times my mother took away your guys' CDs, but I went right back to Music World and got my ass another one.
That's what's up, man.
But also, coming actually next year, February 2021, you guys are just set new dates for the Snoop Dogg I Want to Thank Me tour. Can you tell our listeners a bit more about that tour, and also, if tickets are available, where can they buy them, and also what cities and countries are you guys going to be hitting with Snoop?
Yeah, tickets should still be available, man. Unfortunately, they had to cancel it due to the pandemic, and thank goodness that they didn't cancel it for good, man. So just to be on the safe side, they pushed it up to February of next year. I think February, March, if I'm not mistaken. And we were hitting Europe. We were hitting maybe like 9 or 10 places in Europe. And we also had Amsterdam a part of that tour as well, with me and Kanava, Obi Trice, Dog Pound, and Warren G and Snoop Dogg. Yep. So it was almost like, man, it was gonna turn out to be like a Up in Smoke tour part two to us, because the Up in Smoke tour was our very first tour we ever went on. So when we found out we was going back on tour with these guys, man, we was like, history repeats itself, man. So unfortunately, this pandemic slowed everything down, but you can actually go on my site, get the tickets, man. If you actually go on Facebook, Swifty D-12, and check my page, man, there'll be a link for all the fans who's listening if you want to go ahead and grab your tickets for that tour for next year.
It actually sounds like a phenomenal tour as well. You get the best of the East and the best of the West, man. You can't go wrong with that. So, guys, if you're in that area, do us all a favor, get yourself some tickets, man, because I wish I was in the UK for that.
Yeah, it's gonna be phenomenal, man. All the shows were sold out too, man. So, I'm imagining it's gonna be the same once it come back around.
And also, February of this year, so not too long ago, you released a record called My Brother's Keeper. Can you tell us a bit more about that particular record, and also where can our listeners buy or stream themselves a copy?
Yeah, me and Canavo decided to do a collabo together 2 or 3 years ago, man. Actually took us 2 or 3 years to finish it, man, because I did a movie, I did an independent movie, and I had to work on a soundtrack. Canava ended up working on this project. So once we were done with that, we came back together, man, to finish the record. Titled My Brother's Keeper. You can get it on all the digital outlets, Apple, Spotify, and you can actually get hard copies. If you want a autograph hard copy, you can go to allthingscanava.com. That is allthingscanava.com to get you a hard copy. You can stream it on all the digital outlets. It actually dropped the 21st of February. We had a banging release party in Detroit, man. Shout out to everybody who came through and showed love at the release party. And we were actually had plans to try to do a release party in Europe if it wasn't for everything that shut down because of the pandemic, man. But once we get on and cracking, man, me and Canava are still trying to make plans to do official release parties in other places since we wasn't able to get it done this past winter.
So with that autographed hard copy, is it autographed just by Knive or is it autographed by you as well?
Yeah, it's autographed by me and Knive. Yeah, me and Knive got autographed copies, man, if anybody interested in grabbing one at allthingscanava.com. Is on his website, man. So I could have put it on mine, but it didn't matter, man. We're brothers and we all on one accord, man. So if they both, all CDs will both be signed by us.
And also, on the 28th of this month, so literally just in a few weeks, you are going to be dropping the Retro Hip Hop Mixtape Volume 2. I have to ask you, what can our listeners expect from that particular mixtape? And also, where can our listeners pre-order themselves a copy?
Okay, now Retro Hip Hop Volume 2, man, is the second volume for my last release. I actually had Retro Hip Hop 1 back in 2013. And since I'm talking the cloth of old school, the 90s and 80s flavor, man, that flavor is what birthed me and what inspired me to be who I am, man. So I always want to pay homage to the old school and classic hip hop. So with this volume, you will hear classic hip hop instrumentals with me freestyling over instrumentals, man. Nothing but bars, nothing but straight bars, man. I took it like to the open mic days. If you like bars, if you like wordplay, and like metaphors and similes and all that, man, this mixtape is for you. And I picked the classic beats from the 1990s as well as the 2000s, and just went in, man. So you can actually get the mixtape from a site, one of my sites that I created, and it's actually called Mcvay D-12 Limited Run. Yep, it's limited run, man, and the mixtape is free. So if anybody want it, man, May 28th, y'all go hit that website. It's gonna be in the bio of my Instagram. My Instagram is McVay12. It's gonna be on Twitter. The link will be on Twitter, McVay12, and it's gonna also be on my Facebook, which is Facebook/Swifty D12, to get that free download of some classic hip hop bars. So, yep, May 28th is the release.
So guys, make sure you get ready for that mixtape because it sounds absolutely phenomenal. Get that mixtape. Don't front.
Yep. And I also got a real project coming out with my brothers. I think that with from Toronto, 80 Empire. You know what I'm saying? It's got Swifty Mcvay presents 80 Empire. That album will be dropping in July, so you can get you a free mixtape. From my site, McVay D12 got limited run. And you can also get the 80 Empire, Swifty Mcvay 80 Empire in July. And just work it, man. Just trying to, give the fans what they want and need, man, when it comes to real bars and when it comes to that real classic, authentic hip-hop.
So I have to ask you this, Swifty. Other than the Snoop Dogg tour, your mixtape that's dropping, and of course the album in July, is there anything else you want to promote? What is next for Swifty Mcvay?
But right now, man, I just went and did a song for a soundtrack of a movie called Trap City that I'm in with the actor Brandon T. Jackson, Clifton Powell, and Erica Pinkett, man. I don't know exactly when that movie is dropping, but I know I did my parts, man, and I just got finished giving a song for the soundtrack, man. So watch out for that movie, man. It's a phenomenal movie. Working on his music, man. Just giving the fans X amount of music. And, at first, this acting thing kind of took over, man.
Are you still there, Swifty? Hello?
Can you still hear me?
Oh, perfect. I can hear you. Perfect. There you go. You just came back. My apologies on that.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, I did a movie called Devil's Night, Dawn of the Man Rules. We had a premiere in India last year, and we had a premiere here in Michigan. And that movie is set to come out with distribution real soon. And that just took up the bulk of my time, man. Just, getting that soundtrack together and acting in that movie. So now that that's done, and I did the Trap City with Brandon T. Jackson, man, I just can concentrate on my music. And that's my first love. So I can just concentrate on giving the fans some music, man. And if opportunity perceives itself, man, for me to get back behind that screen, I will. But right now, it's just all about this retro hip-hop, too. And this up-and-coming music that's coming in 2020.
So, Swifty, this is the time in the interview that I give a chance for the individual that comes on the platform. Just a chance to give shout-outs to whomever they want to give shout-outs to. And, of course, your social media handles and websites. That way our listeners can give the legendary Swifty Mcvay a follow if they're not already doing so.
Yeah, man, if you want to come and holler at me on the Instagram at McVay-D12. That is McVay-D12. The same for Twitter, McVay-D12. That's McVay-D12. And on my Facebook is Facebook/Swifty D12, man. So, it's really me, me and my people, running the page, no fake fan page. All the information that gets on these pages are real. And, holla at me, man, if you want to get updated on everything.
And I can most definitely say that Instagram is all yours, because that's how we actually got connected, was by me reaching out via IG.
Absolutely. Yep, absolutely.
So I gotta say, Swifty, first and foremost, before I end this interview, one last time, man, thank you so much for coming up on 97.7 Outlaw Radio FM. I've been a fan of yourself for a very, very long time. Like I said, your music helped me through many, many difficult times in my life. So on behalf of not just myself, but all of our listeners that grew up in the times that D12 was running wild all over the airwaves, thank you so much for just being such a huge member of our lives, man, for so long, man, because you guys really did save my life. And I'm not just saying this from an interviewer to an artist, I'm saying this from a person to a person. Thank you.
Man, I really appreciate your support. Thank you for rocking with us and still rocking with us, man. And I'm really glad that I had a chance to do this interview with you, man. And it be the Lord's will, man. Let's go ahead and kick it again, because I got a lot going on, man. And
hey, most definitely. Whenever you're ready, you just let me know. The airways are always open for you. I can never say no to D12. And as for rocking with you, man, my grandkids are gonna be listening to D12. So you know what I mean? Like they better hope they like it.
That's what's up, man. Thank you. Much love.
You're most certainly welcome. Have yourself a wonderful night and stay safe out there.
All right, you too, my brother. Salute.
Salute.